The club deserves to be coached from the 100% right manager. So Klopp knew deep down that I've got to put the club before myself, and he isn't the right manager at that moment for Dortmund. He was the right manager years prior, but at the right time, he was just not the right manager for Dortmund at that time. All right, let's just try and break this down. Let us do our best to try to break this down. So I was watching ESPN FC. This is pretty much what struck me to make this video. And it was Steve Nicol, obviously played for Liverpool before, and of course Craig Bolly, who said that people calling for Klopp sacking are phone-in merchants. You know, this guy's like, it would be the wrong idea to sack Klopp. Okay, let me try and come first with why it would be wrong to sack Klopp, or rather the thinking of why it would be wrong to sack Klopp. He brought them success. What you don't do is a manager who has given you incredible success, amazing success, 3 UCL finals, winning 1 UCL, winning a Premier League, finishing with 90 plus points, I believe. Yeah, three times with 90 plus points, winning the Premier League for the first time in the club's history. One of the most successful Liverpool managers in modern day. Oh, yeah. No, the most successful. I mean, obviously, Bob Hazard was like before the modern era. He's the most successful modern era Liverpool manager, 100%, if he comes from the EPL. So, a guy that brought you so much success at the first sights of distress, at the first sights of trouble, you don't just jump ship. It's like, okay, you have so much credit in the bank, we ride it out. You've brought us so much success, we can't just turn our backs on you because just one horrible bad season. Come, peaks and troughs. That's what life's about. You know, you will hit a brick wall sometimes. You will not always be successful. Things will not always be amazing. So rather than run away from when things are not so great, it's how you react. Like it's like a saying from Rocky Balboa, which is that it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hits and keep moving forward. You know, it's about reacting to pitfalls and downfalls, reacting to adversity. And that's fair. Of course, Klopp has credit in the bank, and of course, like I fully sympathize with people saying that, bro, look at what this guy did. It was having a downtime. He's earned the belief and faith that he can turn this around and he can make this good and he can make this well. 100%. I get that. But here is the reality here. And it's something that for guys like Steve Nicol and so forth, have you done your research? Because you have to understand what a manager is and what it's about. Not every manager is the same. Every manager has their advantages and their disadvantages. They have their pluses and their minuses and so forth. You know, no manager is perfect. No one is. You know, everybody has their drawbacks. Everyone does. So you look at Mainz, started to be amazingly well. Got them promoted. Obviously missing out on promotion for several few times. Got them promoted. First season in the Bundesliga with the smallest stadium in the Bundesliga, doing supremely well, punching well up above their weights, even even performing well in European competitions as well. So that was clearly supremely amazing with what he did. Promotion, establishing himself in the Bundesliga. But then, relegation. This is what it is. Dortmund. I've already said that is one of my most favorite teams. The modern era was Klopps Dortmund said. I thought they played superb, amazing football. They were absolutely incredible. They were superb. But again, as the years went by, It didn't pop off. And it was that 14-15 season where it was like, I thought they'd get relegated. Obviously, they ended up finishing 7th, but it was a horrendous start to the season. And this was a quote that he said. This was a quote from Klopp. He said, I really think, and this was about him announcing that in April that he would leave the club at the end of the season. He says, I really think the decision is the right one. The club deserves to be coached from the 100% right manager. So Klopp knew deep down that I've got to put the club before myself, and he isn't the right manager at that moment for Dortmund. He was the right manager, yes, prior, but at the right time, he was just not the right manager for Dortmund at that time. What I see from Liverpool, it doesn't look like a blip. You see, there are times when it seems just things are not going well. It's just bad things. It's a blip and so forth. I know they'll be back and so forth. But then when you investigate this and you say to yourself that, okay, what is Klopp's tactic? It is very physically intensive. And that means he needs players. That means he needs investment. Because if we're in a situation where the Qataris took over Liverpool and they gave Klopp money, I still would be like, I'm not sure where you trust with money, but I was like, you know what? If they had money, I'm like, okay, Klopp, you have money. Okay. Get the players that you need. Get the replacements that you need. But the situation is FSG is still here. You're not going to get that money. You're not going to get that massive investment which you need to totally, completely overhaul this team. So I then say to myself that if you don't have the investments to get the players who can properly execute your physically intensive philosophy, do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan Z? And it's evident to me that Klopp doesn't. And what I see from Liverpool, they're a team that's lost. Like they've lost their way. And there are parallels to the Dortmund season, where in the end, it was cool. I mean, in the end, they got to 7th. But they had been so brutally beat down, bamboozled and so forth in that start of the season. And the way in which teams were beating them and the ease with which teams were beating them, I was like, because here's the thing. I need people to, if you can find highlights, because I remember this is one time I had time to pretty much watch the Bundesliga, and I remember watching those games, and I was like, the way they were getting beaten was the same. Teams use the same tactic just to expose their high line and counter them. And they got beat by the same kind of a goal. And I'm seeing similar parallels with Liverpool in how you're exposing their high line and you're just countering them. And it is the defensive frailty and the defensive naivety that's I saw from that Dortmund side in that 14-15 season that I'm seeing from this Liverpool side this season now. So what I'd say to Steve Nicol, who say, oh no, it's wrong to start Klopp because of what he's done and so forth. Don't be blinded by the success that he had. Because he also had incredible success with Dortmund, going up against the might of Bayern Munich. So, for Klopp, I just feel that you cannot ignore the parallels to them, because people say, oh no, those are Klopp. These are guys that do you know what happened in that Dortmund season? They won't. Like, if you ask Steve Nicol and these guys, do you know what happened in that 14-15 Dortmund season? Do you know what happened in the first part of that season? No, you won't. You know, and that quote from Klopp is so key, where he says, I don't feel I'm the right manager, and I do feel that it is the same thing right now. In 2023, I just don't think that Klopp is the right manager. And as he said in that quote for Dortmund, Liverpool deserve the right manager for now. Like, it takes nothing away from what Klopp has built. Because what Klopp did with this Liverpool side was outstanding. If not for Man City, Liverpool have 3 EPLs. They have 3 EPLs. It's just that he just had the might of City, who were just 1 point better twice. 1 point better twice in a 90-plus points season. So what he did, and also they were on for a quadruple. So what he did was absolutely exceptional. It was absolutely exceptional. But that quadruple, Liverpool are feeling the effects of that quadruple season. Because they played the maximum number of games you can play in a season to reach the UCL final, Carabao Cup final, FA Cup final, and 38 games in the leagues. They played the most number of games you can play in a season. Because remember, not every league has 2 domestic trophies. So that's literally Liverpool. That is the maximum number of games a club can play in a season. So the guys are tired. They just can't hack it anymore. So they can give you a win here, a win there, a win here, a win there, but over. And here is my belief, and this is where I'll end it. If Liverpool gets top 4, he may stay. You may be like, we did it. All right, maybe I still have it within me, and I do think that if top 4, he'll stay. If Liverpool don't get top 4, I do believe Klopp will step down. I really believe so. I believe Klopp will have a statement similar to that in saying that this club deserves the right manager, and I'm happy with what I've done, but I just feel that I'm not the right man to take this team forward. And unlike what Steve Nichols says, because Steve Nichols was saying like, oh, if he steps down, it'll be him running away from adversity and so forth. And I'm like, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, because I think Klopp knows who he is. Which is why, because Klopp could have easily stayed at Dortmund. I'm not sure Dortmund would have been happy to stay with him, because like they would be okay, fine. It was a bad season. We got 7th, but look at what he did to us. But Klopp just did that. Yeah. And also, last thing, key thing. Sorry, what did he say again? Yes, I chose this time to announce it because in the last few years, some player decisions were made late and there was no time to react, referring to the departures of Götze and Lewandowski in seasons prior. If Klopp feels that he's unable to get and has the full backing to get specific players, because this is different. This isn't players leaving. This is players declining and no longer. Oh God! Okay, this is really interesting now. Hold up. So at Dortmund, the issue was the players left, and it was hard for him to react and get those players, especially when he did not have any backing, and he was unable to replace those players that had left. They'd left, but this is different. The players are still here, so he is still trying to use his players. So the situation is more complex. Do you realize these players are surplus to requirements, or are you still trying to figure out why these players are not able to do what they should be able to do? Why can't Fabinho do what he's able to do? Why can't Henderson do what he's able to do? Because if Henderson and Fabinho had moved on, bro, I can't replace them, but they're still here. But you're still trying to use them in ways that they were 2-3 seasons ago. So, and the issue is Fabinho needs to be replaced. Henderson needs to be replaced. Milner needs to be replaced. Firmino needs to be replaced. They need to be moved on. And if he's unable to replace them, is Klopp still trying to force something that can't bear any fruit and keep on banging his head against the brick wall? Or will he realize that if you're not going to back me with this players to replace these guys, and I know who I am, and I can't get the best out of these guys, Liverpool is bigger than me. They deserve to be given to someone who can get the best out of these guys. What's the saying? Like a zebra can't change its stripes, Or is it like, oh yeah, a leopard can't change its spots? You are who you are. Klopp, he can't reinvent himself. I view the game away. And if I can't get the best of these guys being the way that I view the game, bruh. I don't know. Comment below. Tell me what you guys think, man. Hit that like button, subscribe, guys, and stay tuned to this footballing content. What do you guys think? Should Klopp be sacked? Should he still carry on? What y'all think? And remember to hold up. I got it right here. No, remember to use your phone, scan the QR code, and join the official Discord server. Use your phone to scan the QR code and join the official Discord server, man. Talk to me about Kloppinski.